The Ayurvedic Way to Detox by Estrella Martinez. What detox really means. Before we go any further, let's gently set something down. Detox does not need to hurt. It does not need to involve hunger. It does not need to create stress in the body. If the word detox brings up ideas of restriction, discipline, or pushing through discomfort, that response makes sense. For many people, detox has been framed as something you endure rather than something that supports you. Ayurveda approaches this differently. In Ayurveda, detox is not about removing food. It is not about forcing the body to cleanse. It is about restoring the body's natural ability to process, release, and recover. The body already knows how to detox. The liver does this quietly, every day. The digestive system does this every day. Even the nervous system plays a role, deciding whether the body feels safe enough to let go. When these systems are supported, detox happens naturally. When they are strained, detox slows down, no matter how strict the plan is. So this is not a conversation about willpower. It's a conversation about conditions. Conditions that allow digestion to work smoothly. Conditions that allow elimination to happen without force. Conditions that allow the body to release what it no longer needs. Nothing here requires you to act immediately. Nothing here asks you to change your diet today. Nothing here needs to be done perfectly. Simply understanding how detox actually works begins to change the environment inside the body. That understanding alone can be settling. Why modern detoxes backfire. Most people turn to detox because they want relief. Relief from heaviness, relief from fatigue, relief from feeling inflamed, foggy, or disconnected from their body. That desire is reasonable. The body often asks for clarity when it feels overloaded. The problem is not the intention, it's the method. Many modern detoxes rely on removal, removing food, removing calories, removing comfort. From the body's perspective, this looks less like cleansing and more like stress. When stress increases, digestion weakens. When digestion weakens, detox slows down. This is why aggressive detoxes often come with headaches, irritability, exhaustion, shakiness, or strong cravings. These reactions are sometimes framed as toxins leaving, but Ayurveda understands them differently. They are signals. Signals that the body has shifted into protection rather than release. The body prioritizes survival before cleansing. When it feels threatened, it holds on. This is especially true for people who are already tired, overstimulated, postpartum, emotionally depleted, or under chronic pressure. In these states, restriction does not purify the system, it drains it. Another reason modern detoxes backfire is that they ignore rhythm. Digestion works best when it is predictable. Elimination works best when the nervous system feels regulated. Sudden changes, fasting, extreme cleanses, rigid protocols disrupt that rhythm. Instead of clarity, the body experiences confusion. Ayurveda teaches that detox is most effective when the body feels supported, warm, and safe enough to release, not when it is shocked into compliance. If detox has ever left you feeling worse rather than better, that does not mean your body failed. It means the approach did not match the body's needs at that time. And that understanding matters, because detox does not begin with removal, it begins with restoration. What detox means in Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, detox does not begin with cleansing. It begins with digestion. Not digestion as a technical process, digestion as a rhythm. The body is constantly taking things in: food, information, emotion, stimulation. Detox is simply the body's ability to process what comes in and release what is no longer needed. When this rhythm is steady, the body stays clear without effort. When this rhythm is strained, things begin to accumulate. Ayurveda uses the word ama to describe this accumulation, but you don't need the word to understand the experience. Ama feels like heaviness, like fog, like sluggishness after eating, like waking up tired even after sleep. It can feel physical or mental or emotional. Ama is not a toxin in the dramatic sense. It is not something dangerous or mysterious. It is simply incompletely processed experience. When digestion is strong and steady, the body finishes what it starts. When digestion is weakened by stress, irregular rhythm, or exhaustion, things remain unfinished. Detox, then, is not about pulling things out. It is about helping the body complete its natural work. This is why Ayurveda focuses so much on timing, warmth, rest, and simplicity. Not because they are rules, but because they support rhythm. When meals are predictable, digestion relaxes. When the nervous system feels safe, elimination improves. When the body is warm and rested, processing becomes easier. Clarity returns not because something was removed, but because the body was finally able to finish. This is an important shift. Modern detox culture often treats the body like a container that needs to be emptied. Ayurveda treats the body like an intelligent system that needs the right conditions to function well. When those conditions are present, clarity returns naturally. Energy becomes steadier, thinking becomes clearer, the body feels lighter, not because it lost something, but because it released what it no longer needed. Nothing here requires force. Nothing requires discipline. Detox in Ayurveda is cooperative. It listens first. It supports gently. It allows the body to do what it already knows how to do. If that feels different from what you've been taught, that's okay. This way is quieter, but it is also more sustainable. And it begins not with cleansing, but with care. The gentle Ayurvedic detox path. The Ayurvedic detox path does not begin with a plan. It begins with creating the conditions that allow the body to do what it already knows how to do. There's no moment where the body suddenly starts detoxing. It is always detoxing to the degree that it feels supported. So instead of asking, "What should I remove?" Ayurveda asks, "What does the body need in order to process more easily?" One of the most important conditions is warmth. Warmth signals safety to the body. It softens tension. It helps digestion relax into its rhythm. When the body is warm, physically and internally, it releases more easily. Nothing is forced, nothing is rushed. Another condition is simplicity. Not simplicity as restriction, but simplicity as ease. When the body is given fewer mixed signals, digestion has less to manage. Processing becomes clearer, not because effort increased, but because complexity decreased. The body likes clarity. It responds well when things arrive one at a time, at a pace it can handle. Then there is rhythm. The body detoxes best when it knows what to expect. Regular timing of rest, of nourishment, of activity calms the nervous system. And when the nervous system is calm, elimination improves naturally. Rhythm tells the body it does not need to stay alert. It can let go. Another quiet but powerful condition is rest. Not just sleep, but rest from constant input. Rest from constant input. Rest from trying to improve. When the body is no longer bracing, it releases more freely. Detox does not require extra energy. It requires that energy stop being drained elsewhere. And finally, there is gentleness. The body responds to kindness far more efficiently than it responds to force. When support is gentle, the system stays open. When support is aggressive, the system tightens. This is why Ayurvedic detox never begins with extremes. It begins with listening, with noticing when digestion feels easier, with noticing when the body feels less heavy, with noticing when clarity begins to return on its own. These are signs that the conditions are working. There is no finish line here, no moment where detox is complete. There is only a gradual return to ease. When the body feels supported, it releases what it no longer needs, quietly, steadily, and without drama. And that is the Ayurvedic path. Not cleansing through stress, but clearing through care. Who should not detox aggressively? It's important to say this gently and clearly. Not everybody benefits from aggressive detoxing, and timing matters. Ayurveda never assumes that cleansing is always helpful. It asks first whether the body has the capacity to release. When the body is already depleted, asking it to cleanse can create more strain than clarity. If you are feeling deeply tired, if your nervous system feels overstimulated, if sleep has been irregular or shallow, the body may not be asking for detox. It may be asking for stability. In these moments, restriction does not help the body let go. It often causes the body to hold on more tightly. This is especially true during periods of high demand, after illness, after prolonged stress, after emotional upheaval, during postpartum recovery. In these states, the body is already working hard to restore balance. Adding pressure, even in the name of cleansing, can interrupt that process. Ayurveda understands that detox requires reserve energy. When reserve energy is low, the priority shifts. Support comes before cleansing. Rest comes before release. This does not mean detox is off limits forever. It simply means the body is asking for something else first. Gentleness here is not delay, it is preparation. There are also moments when clarity returns more easily through nourishment than through removal. When warmth, rhythm, and simplicity are restored, detox often happens quietly on its own, without effort, without symptoms, without struggle. If you have ever tried to detox and felt worse, more tired, more anxious, more disconnected, that does not mean you did it wrong. It means your body needed a different kind of support at that time. Ayurveda never forces the body to release. It waits until release feels safe. Listening to that timing is part of the wisdom. If this section brings relief rather than disappointment, trust that response. Relief is often the body recognizing what it truly needs. Detox does not require urgency. It requires readiness. And readiness comes from support, not pressure. Integration and closing. Letting the body finish. As we come toward the end of this conversation, there is nothing to carry forward as a task. Nothing to remember perfectly, nothing to apply immediately. Detox, as Ayurveda understands it, is not something you initiate once and complete. It is something the body does continuously when the conditions allow. What you've heard today is not a method, it's an orientation, an understanding that the body releases most easily when it feels supported, that digestion improves when rhythm returns, that clarity emerges when pressure softens. You don't need to decide whether you are detoxing or not. You don't need to measure progress. The body responds quietly when it is ready. If something you heard resonated, you can let it settle. If nothing stood out clearly, that's fine too. Sometimes integration happens below awareness. Ayurveda trusts this process. It does not rush it. It does not interfere. As you move back into your day or into rest, allow this understanding to stay gentle. Detox does not need to be dramatic to be effective. It does not need to be uncomfortable to work. Clearing happens through care, through warmth, through rhythm, through rest. And when the body feels safe enough, It knows exactly what to let go of. You don't need to help it. You can rest here. With love, Estrella. This audiobook is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. It does not replace care from a qualified healthcare professional. Please consult your healthcare provider before making health-related changes.